right, it is showtime. Now, wait a second here. I gotta do something. I gotta make sure that if enough people watch this, I get some ad revenue. There we go. All right, that's fine. So let me go over here. Yes, I am live. We are live on, let's see here. We're on YouTube and we're also on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Bill's Box of Sound. Let me make sure that I'm making plenty of noise. We're on YouTube and we're also on Twitch. All right, so let's make sure that the video looks okay. And that mofo. Let's see here. Come on. There we are. How about here? How about go there? There. What the heck? Nothing's working. Let's try this. There we go. Oh, it's my ugly mug. And let's make sure it looks okay. Yeah, I look okay. So now I can get rid of this and just go back to just simple old talking with yous guys. See how you're doing this week. My name is Bill. It's Bill's Box of Sound. I might as well make some noise to start out and wait for all you cool cats and kittens to come in here. So let's check this out. enough. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Hello, friends. How you doing? My name's Bill, and you are watching Bill's Box of Sound, the weekly live stream that happens nearly every Saturday night. This is live stream number 116. Oh, look at that lovely Diet Coke. Yes, indeed. Let's get the sound. The sound that refreshes. Yes, indeed. I'm not endorsed by this product, but I do love to drink it. Even if there's a little bit of whiskey inside of there, Canadian whiskey, which I would gladly pay 25% more for, but hopefully I won't have to. Ugh. Anyway, so let's bring it to the full screen. Do it there, and just make it solo. Kaboom! All right, yeah. You bring up StreamYard and it says, we've got all of these enticements and enhancements for your streaming pleasure. And what happens? It starts slowing down. No. I don't like that. All right, well, good evening to all of you. Having fun out there. 10 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. Tomorrow's daylight savings time! Yes, indeed. So, if you're in an area where you observe daylight savings time, 2 a.m. tonight, set those clocks back an hour. And I got a question. Do they do daylight savings time in other countries in the world, in Europe? Maybe Tokyo Record Style is on, and they could tell me whether he can tell me whether or not they observe daylight savings time in Japan. I don't know, but I'm just a dumb American. What can I say? Anyway, set it forward. That's right. You set your clock forward, spring forward, fall back, jump up, turn around, do the hokey pokey. Anyway, yes. I do spring forward an hour. Sorry about that. Spring forward. Don't turn your clocks back. Go forward. You spring forward. Turn the clocks forward an hour at 2 a.m. So it becomes 3 a.m. Yep. I'm not as smart as I appear to be sometimes. Anyway. I'm much stupider than I profess to be. So how are you, folks? You get some records this week? Did you have some fun? What's going on? I got a new toy this week. Just started playing with it today, but I don't have it hooked up right now. For some reason, I got messed up and clicked on Temu or Temu, that Chinese site that sells billions of things for outrageously low prices. And I started looking around for electronics because, as you might know, I sometimes do DJing for private parties and the such. And I'm trying to find a way to make my setup smaller but still very versatile. I've got a DJ mixer that you use for 2 turntables, but I only have a computer with a little DJ thingy on it, and I also have for backup an iPod, as well as a portable CD player, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. So I'm thinking I gotta find a tiny mixer with enough inputs that I can just get a very small footprint. And I found it on Temu or whatever this thing is. So that was kind of cool. So I'm waiting for that to arrive. But another thing that I bought was I was looking around at maybe some delay pedals and some looper pedals. And I found a looper pedal for cheap. And it's this thing called the Stritch. There you go, the Stritch, which also happens to be a hold on a second. Where is it? The stretch is there we go. Yeah, baby. This guy right here. 2 souls in one. The stretch is also a horn that's, yes, exactly, Mr. Metal Theologian. Good evening. It is a horn that's played by this dude here, George Braith. That's you can't see it. Let me take this out of the plastic here so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. All right. Okay. This horn right here, it's like you're playing 2 horns at once. That's a stretch. So, but anyway, this thing was ridiculously inexpensive. And here it is. Here's the stretch looper. And it allows you to make a backward it allows you to play something and then endlessly repeat it and then play something over it, and you can even overdub on top of that. I just played with this for about 15 minutes today. I gotta learn this thing because it's got all sorts of cool stuff on it. As a matter of fact, use the original boomerang. Cool. If your timing is not impeccable, it's not going to sound right. Now, I may be a drummer, and I may be able to keep a beat, and I may be able to keep a steady beat. This is probably loud as hell, isn't it? All right, enough of that stupid stuff. Anyway, I was playing with it, trying to make a rhythm track, and I was just like, I was just banging on the synthesizer, trying to do 4 bars, and then click the thing to make it go endlessly, and it just didn't sound right. So whenever that bar came around, it was like, you skip it around there. So I got to play with this thing, get used to it. I got to work on my timing. Yeah, the drummer's got to work on his timing because he's messing up. All right. So, yeah, that's a new toy that I got. Another cool thing about this is it's got a little data jack on it. And you can take the audio files that you record to loop on this thing and offload them onto a computer, or you can take other sound files that you've made or recorded or stolen from someplace else and put them in here as long as they're 32-bit audio files. I got to figure out if other types of files work in here, because this will save up to like 90 minutes of loops. So this is strange science here that I'm getting into. But yeah, it's not for Petronics. Definitely not. That's for a long delay with a feedback loop. I may get a delay pedal as well, or just set up 2 reel-to-reel things in here. But who's in the room tonight? We got Memphis Lonnie. Hello, sir. Had a rather stimulating conversation with Mr. Lonnie this week. He bought a copy of my record, which is where is it? I know I got it here because I got to keep pulling it out to make sure you people know all about it. Why? I saw like 3 copies in this pile earlier. The hell? Somebody help me, please. Help me, somebody. Woo! Here we go. There's the jacket. He bought a copy of this, had it autographed, and but he had all sorts of Zappa questions to ask me. So I called him. We chewed the fat for a while. It was pretty cool. So good evening, Lonnie. Good to see you. Good to see you, North Carolina vinyl picker. And of course, already said hello to MT, Metal Theologian. Thumpfinger. Good to see you. And you got the new Residence record. Okay, that's interesting. I'm probably gonna stream that before I buy it. Same thing with the new Jethro Tull album. I've heard a lot of press about it, but I heard a lot of press about the last Jethro Tull album, and I wasn't too thrilled with that either. Nate Bouchard, I've got something to talk about that you have a direct involvement with, young man. So that's cool. Let's see here. And Metal Theologian bought some rap records this week. Yikes. Let's see. Nate bought a White Witch album, thinking that it was an album I had a conversation with him, Metal Theologian, about, but that was Black Widow. Silly me. Okay. And let's see. Who else is in there? Kevin! He's back! He was in New Zealand the last time we spoke to him. Let's see, originated in New Zealand by a member of parliament who wanted to collect butterflies. It was picked up by the Germans during World War I to increase time in munitions factories. Very interesting. History lesson. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Let's see. Ooh, more new records. Let's see. I got the Gary Raman Intruder double LP. Okay. And let's see. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, Gary Newman or Numan? You got to figure that out. Okay. Let's see. Sweet Hot Water has the Beatron on pre-order for $69. It's an exact clone of the Mutron. Huh. I saw an article someplace where the people who hold the copyright to the original Mutron pedals, which were used by George Duke way back in the day, like the envelope follower and things like that. And they're ticked off at people like Behringer making low-priced clones of these things and selling them and not giving any money to the folks who made the original pedal. Huh, okay, let's see. And what else is he? Do I have Big John by Big John Patton? Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. John Patton, where is it? I got a couple of John Patton records. Yes. Oh. Hang on, I gotta stand up. Check out my ass. Let's see, John Peterson. There we go. Actually, the record that got me into John Patton was this one, Blue John. This one is great. First track on this, Hot Sauce, sounds like the theme for a 70s TV show. I mean, it is super funky, and it's got some great stretch work from our friend George Braithwaite, or George Braith as he came to be known eventually. But yeah, this was an album that was recorded in 1963 and never released until, what was it, 85, I think? Of course, it doesn't. Oh yeah, 1985. When Blue Note was resurrected in one of the many times it's been resurrected. This came out in 1985. Great little album. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. You know about that one. Now, I've also got a very sad story. Let's see. I got a couple other Patton albums. Let's see. What's that one? It's Jacob Story. All right, let's pull out this one. Okay. Here's another good John Patton album, Let 'Em Roll, with Bobby Hutcherson, Grant Green, and Otis Candy Finch on drums. This is pretty cool soul funk. And then I bought this for a song, Along Came John, and I thought, oh man, this is an original. This is a mono. This is cool stuff. I can't wait to get this home and play it. And stupid me didn't really take a good look at the vinyl. Because, oh man, I don't know if you can see it. I wrote on the record because part of it's damaged. It says, do not play track 1. And I said the same for this side too. Why? Because There's a crack in the vinyl right there. Man, I was upset. But yeah, this is a Liberty Blue Note. Got it for a pretty good price from Mr. Melcher, a member of the Northeast Ohio Vinyl Club. Come on. So that's my sad story when it comes to Big John Patton records. But yeah, guy, he's good. I also like in that same strain of jazz organ players. I love Grant Green. Let's see. I remember seeing a record back here just a few hours ago. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I love this record. Mo Greens, Please by Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach, another very funky organ player on Blue Note. Oh, yeah. This is a great, great record. Oh, Conrad Lester on tenor sax, Kenny Burrell on guitar, Eddie Wright on guitar, and Clarence Johnston on drums. Yeah, Mo Greens, Please. If this ever gets reissued, I gotta buy it because the sound's gotta be better than this. This record is like worn down, but it sounds wonderful. Oh yeah, this is fun talking about this stuff. So records, new records. Well, records that are new to me anyway. So this first one I was talking about a couple weeks ago, and Mr. Nate Bouchard told me about this record and bugged the hell out of me and said, "You got to listen to this because I think you'll like it." So I found it on Spotify, streamed it, listened to it, and I thought, where has this record been all my life? And I finally got a hold of a used copy. It's not in the best condition, but it's mighty darn good. It's Music to Eat by the Hampton Grease Band. It finally came in. Guy who sold it to me, waited a week before he took it to the post office. You know, I bought it on Discogs, and it says, "Oh, he marked it as shipped," which if you go in and check the post office tracking, it says the label has been generated, but it has not been received at the post office yet. So I waited and I waited, and at least 5 days, maybe 7 after that, finally it was on its way to me, and it finally came in. This is a 2-record set that is most likely, well, according to stuff that I read, the worst performing release in the history of Columbia Records. A 2-record set, got all sorts of cool, weird stuff on it. And this guy, I mean, if you like Beefheart, if you like Zappa, if you like some of the more ornery stuff that Little Feat did, you'll dig this. And there's the back of that. And it's a 2-record set on Columbia. And the best part of it is the first side called Halifax. But yeah, and it's really good sound. It suffers just a tiny bit in the very, very high end. So I just tweaked my high end just a tiny bit to make the drums sound just right. But yeah, great record, the Hampton Grease Band. Long form tunes on this. And so yeah, I got that. And another record I got, let's see, where is it? Because I started pulling out, I had a pile of records I was going to show you, but then you guys got me talking, yanking records out and putting that pile on there, the pile that I got to put away at the end of the show. Anyway, record I got right around the same time is I got this reissue. This is a Prestige from Acoustic Sounds, The Tenor Scene, which is the Eddie Lockjaw Davis and Johnny Griffin Quintet. This is a live album recorded at Minton's Playhouse. And does it have the date of recording on here? Don't think it does. But yeah, this was originally released on Prestige Records back in, I believe it was 61. And this is a party record. It was recorded live by Rudy Van Gelder at Minton's. And this is just fun. It's a hot band. You got two tenor saxophonists blowing the brains out, making some lovely noise. This is a great record. I've had this digitally for years and years. I also bought a twofer uh, on the Prestige label that had like a reissue of this. But when I found out that this was out on Acoustic Sounds, cut by Kevin Gray, I had to pick it up. Um, it was re-released in 2022. I don't know how many they got left, but there's one thing about this album that evades me, and it's gonna make the engineer in me yank this album out and do something to it. I guess because of extraneous sounds that were happening at Minton's while the live recording was going, like people talking, phones ringing, glasses clinking, stuff like that. Rudy decided while this guy was soloing over in this speaker, and maybe it's some extraneous noise was going on here, he turned down the level of this channel for the duration of that solo. Once the other instruments joined back in, he brought the level back up, and the level of both channels was equal again. Now, my guess is that because this is recorded live and it was before portable multitrack was A, possible, B, practical, he recorded live and mixed it live to 2-track. But I want to hear more of what that place sounded like. So I want to take that album and I want to take those parts where the channel was very imbalanced and bring it up so they're like equal again and see if I can make it a more natural sounding recording. I'm a nerd like that. I just like doing that. So let's see. Ba 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 ba. No 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 no. Ah, Middle Theologian knows about that. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, Nate just he hit me perfectly on that. Love that record. Anyway, so let's see. You're making it sound like it's the Easter Village Other LP. Okay, I'll have to look into that. So that's the other album I got, and there was a nice surprise last night. As a lot of you know, I watch Grown Man Record Night every week on Friday night. I watch their streams on Twitch before and after the show, and I watch the main show program that starts at about 11 p.m. every Friday night. Of course, they stream other days of the week, but the big show is Friday. And Mikey was talking about how Roy Ayers had passed away, which just happened this week. And like Mikey, I don't have any Roy Ayers albums. So he started poking around on Discogs to try and see if there are any albums that he had Roy Ayers playing vibes on it. Smart thing to do. I didn't think I had any because I did the same thing that he did so I could talk about it on tonight's show. Also, there was a Roy Ayers album that Kamala Harris talked about. There was a video that went viral of somebody stopping her coming out of a record store a few years back and saying, "Vice President, Madam Vice President, you bought some records?" She says, "Yes, I love records." And says, "What you buy?" And she showed several records, but one of them was the Roy Ayers Ubiquity album, and that was pretty cool. So Mikey said, "Yeah, I don't have any Roy Ayers albums, but I did find one album that does have it, and I pulled it out and played it, and it was a good one. And it was Herbie Mann, Memphis Underground. Okay, now I got several Herbie Mann records, and and I'm thinking, ooh, that's cool. Says I don't think I have that one. Uh, but didn't Dwayne Allman play on a Herbie Mann album? So I said that in the chat. I said, hey, isn't that the one that Dwayne Allman plays on? And everybody checked and said, no, Sonny Chirac plays on that one, and Larry Coryell plays on that one. Hey, DJ Trish, how you doing? Good to see you. So after the show, I went into my record collection. Not every single album that's in this room is in my Discogs. I got like about 5,000 records or so, and I've only got about half of them in Discogs. If you've got a big record collection, you know what a pain in the posterior it is to get everything into Discogs and get it right. And I'm nerdy with this stuff. I got to get it right. But I looked and it's like, boom, I got that one. So uh, I pulled it out, I spun it. It's it's really good. When it comes to Herbie Mann albums, this one jams. And Sonny Chirac, if you're not familiar with him and you like cartoons, if you're familiar with the the cartoon on Adult Swim that was on Adult Swim because that's gone now, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. The guitar player on that was Sonny Chirac, and he is just doing some crazy ass shit on that. And second tune on side one, I'm sorry, third song. They do a song of Hold On I'm Coming, made famous by Sam and Dave. Well, Sonny goes into a guitar solo and he just starts getting medieval on his guitar, and it is sensational. Just ripping it up. So that was cool. So I was wondering, yeah, what record did Dwayne Allman play on by Herbie Mann? Well, guess what? It's that most notorious and most avoided of the Herbie Mann albums. It's Push Push with the guy with no shirt on. Find some clothes there, Herbie. Yep, Push Push, and it's got Bill's eyes on it as well. So yeah, on the old Embryo label, licensed by Atlantic Records. So yeah, Dwayne Allman plays guitar on this. So if you're a Dwayne Allman fan and you don't know that, you may be able to get that album for like a quarter or a buck 50 at a Goodwill or something. So keep an eye out for that. So that's all the news. So, all right. Well, I have talked for 34 minutes and accomplished absolutely nothing. Good job, Bill. So I want to know, anybody want to come up on the screen tonight? I'll be happy to bring you up as long as you promise to behave yourself. I want to know, has anybody heard the new Jethro Tull album? Let's see. Let me grab the invite, and let's see here. I'm going to put it in the chat room. Okay. If you want to come up and talk to the world with me for a few minutes, feel free to use that link so I can bring you on here. I better change my audio settings so that I don't get any ads on here. Turn off my stereo audio and turn on my echo cancellation. All right. So what else is new, folks? What you been doing? Let's see. It's your understanding that the new Toll album has more flute on it than the last couple of releases. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up streaming it because I like the quote that Ian Anderson gave of that he's trying to go back to more of the heavier Jethro Tull days, the regular classic rock days of Jethro Tull. And I was listening to Thick as a Brick too, which I think is much weaker of an album than the original Thick as a Brick, which is an unbelievably, amazingly wonderful album. Um, and also programming note. I might not have a show next week. Be just for no reason whatsoever. I may have something to do. So if if there is no show next week, I'll probably put up a note or something. But I am working on two different videos right now. I may have two separate videos so you can watch those, or you can watch somebody else stream or whatever. So let's see what else is going on. People are too scared to come up onto the screen. I'm not going to try and bait you like that. So what other records? Somebody sent me an email and said, "Do I know when the next Zappa release is coming out?" No, I do not. Still waiting for information to come down the line. And so that's about all that's going on with that. Here's an interesting release that I have on CD. This is called Gray Folded. And it's a 2 CD set. There's this guy named John Oswald, and he does these strange audio collages and just hundreds of splices and flips and flops, and he repurposes music and makes completely new compositions out of them. He put out an album called Plunderphonics. He put out an album called Plecture. Really weird stuff. But what this is a 2 CD set. Um, and this is all music performed by the Grateful Dead, but it is a very large number of performances of the song Dark Star. And it's annotated here. I'll just see it. He has taken multiple versions of Dark Star and he has turned it into a 2 CD long piece. Really strange. That's the first disc. Second disc, same as the disc. Mirror Ashes. I mean, this is really complex, but it's kind of cool. Ah, Michael P. Dawson, how are you? Yeah, that's it. All right. Good. I was hoping that you'd be available to comment on the Toll album because I knew that you'd get it. He says, played with a bit of passion. And as for the novelty of Toll doing another long track after all these years, it's really a 5-minute song set in the middle of a suite of flute instrumentals. Okay. And while I expect to warm up to it on repeated listenings, my first impression is, well, incredibly good flute playing. A lot of it. Okay. Well, yeah, I've been listening to some incredibly good flute playing from Herbie Mann lately, And what was the other thing you said? Sorry, I had to split that comment up. Oh, no, no problem. No problem. Very, very, very happy that you did that. Let's see. All right. Well, DJ Trish wants me to do a random pull of a record from my collection, wants me to talk about it. So, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to bring up one of my databases of my record collection, my Excel file, which is much more complete than my Discogs file. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. And I got records numbered from 1 to, let's see, 5,164. Okay. So I'm going to ask my phone to create. All right, let's go to. Stop it. A random number between 1 and 5,164.
1,966.
Did you hear that? It said 1,966. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to record 1966 and I will pull that record out and I will talk about it. I don't know what it is, but let's scroll up to it. I'm working on it. Here we go. 1966. There. Oh, that's a good record. Okay. Hang on a nanosecond. Let's see. I think it's. Hold on. I'll pull it up in just a moment. Nope, it's down here. Okay. Now, Mr. Maslov, aka Mazzy, calls these whack-a-moles for his own reason. But for many years in the vinyl community, they've just been known as random record pools. And it's a lot of fun to do. So, let's see. More Jethro Tull reviews from Michael P. Dawson. He says, yeah, incredibly good flute playing, tons of Indian inflected note bending, but no dynamics, no electric guitar, no drum fills, barely there bass. I'd love to hear that 11/8 section. Huh. Play with a bit of passion. And as for the novelty of Tull doing another long okay, I already read that. Okay. I'm just jumping all over the place here. New comments. Okay. And Louis Souza says Plunderphonics is such a groundbreaking record. John Oswald teach Negative Land some tricks. Yes, he did. And Negative Land also re-released the original Plunderphonics with a lot of other stuff on a 2-disc set of Plunderphonics. It's beautiful. I've got it in the next room, but I'm not going to pull it out right now. But what was record 1,966? Well, it was this beautiful thing right here. Richard Hell and the Voidoids, Blank Generation. Oh yeah, this is a classic punk record from 1977. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did I get this record while I was working at Peaches or when I was writing for Scene Magazine? This has the hit song Love Comes in Spurts. Oh no, it hurts. And let's see, let's pull out the inner. Got all this cool stuff on it. Nice little collage. And who are the players on this record? Let's see. He actually does a Creedence song, "Walking on the Water." Okay. All right, where's the list of musicians on the record? Come on. Oh, here it. Duh. It's on the back of the record. You got Robert Quine on guitars and background vocals, Richard Hell on bass and vocals, Ivan Julian on guitars and background vocals, and Mark Bell on drums. And yeah, this is good. Very first pressing. I think this is a promo that I got of this album. But yeah, it is a classic. Love Comes in Spurts, Liars Beware, New Pleasure, Betrayal Takes Two, Down at the Rock and Roll Club on the old Sire label from 1977. Blank Generation by Richard Hell and the Voidoids. And I love this thing here. He's got his, it says, "You make me blank." Yes, indeed. Now, Marky Ramone? Is that who Mark Bell is? MARC? For real, Nathan? Let me look that up. I'm gonna see if you're right. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, Mark Stephen Bell. You nailed it, my man. He. Nate says, "Yeah." Metal Theologian says, "Yeah, yeah." Anyone seen the viral videos of the guy who's got like 4 cats, and he makes them meow a lot, and then he overdubs his voice with the cats talking? It's a comic named Drennan Davis. Hilarious videos of if you're into cat videos. So that's why the drumming is so damn good on this record. It's Marky Ramone, for heaven's sake. Right there. Check him out. There we go. Mark Bell and drums. Beautiful. Okay. So, what is this? Nathan is right. What does he win, Jim? A new car! Actually, if you're interested, I do have a prize someplace. Hold on. It's not a very rewarding reward if I can find it here. Is this it? There we go. All right. Ooh, this could be interesting. It could be great, but when you really dig deep down, it's really not that wonderful. Look at this. It's what will soon not be the most recent album by Steven Wilson, called The Harmony Codex. And look, it's still got the shrink on it. However, there's a problem with it. And if you are a frequent watcher of this program, you'll know what the problem is because I talked about it once before. Let's see, there's one inner sleeve. And here's the other inner sleeve. Now, wait a second. It looks exactly the same. Yeah. It's because there's 2 copies of the same record here. I ordered this from Universal when they had a 50% off sale, and they accidentally sent me 2 copies of the same record. It's a 2-record set, just 2 LP number 2 and no LP number 1 in there. So I wrote to them, and they sent me another copy. So I've got this. I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll take it up to Half Price Records, Half Price Books, Double Price Records, and trade it in and get like 18 cents for it. Half Price Books, one of the biggest ripoffs if you want to trade in your records. But if you've got absolutely crap records and you want to get rid of them, take them to half-price books. But if you've got some respect in your soul, take them to a record store in your local area that sells used records. They'll probably give you more than 19 cents per record, unless you've got nothing but absolute trash. Or even just give it to Goodwill. You'll be helping people, and you'll be giving crate diggers all over the world something to do. And let's see here. Ooh, cool. Michael just got the recent 4-disc version of King Crimson's Red and got 2 copies of DVD 1 and no DVD 2. Bastards! How dare they? Yeah, these things happen. Red, eh? So what other things are going on here? Did I ever show you my Mr. Bungle boxed set? I love this thing. It's got their 3 Warner Brothers albums on it. And it's lovely. All right. Let's see if Kevin is on his best memory. DJ Trish just said in the chat room, bastards. All right. And anybody else can jump in on this. Who says the word bastards better than anybody else on the planet? And it's hilarious every time he does. So it's a guy. He's still alive. He's old. Who says bastards better than anybody else on the planet? Come on, somebody's got to know. Somebody's got to know. Let's see. Let's pull out a random Zappa record. How's that? I'm going to reach in. I can almost tell these records by how they feel, but I don't know what this one is. Okay, it's You Are What You Is. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, this record is You Are What You Is. Came out in 1982. This is a hidden gem in the Zappa catalog. Let's see. James T. Kirk. No. It's not a fictional character. I mean, the guy plays a lot of fictional characters, but he's mostly known in the comedic universe. Anyway, back to this record. This was the first album that was completely recorded at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen. Well, almost all of it. Parts of it were recorded live and then overdubbed at Frank Zappa's studio. And this is the first Frank Zappa album recorded at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen, which was located in the basement of Frank Zappa's house. But the first album at all to be recorded at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen was the first Missing Persons record. Yes, the 4-song EP. Let me pull it out here because I know I got it. I know I do. Here it is. Missing Persons. This was recorded at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen. And basically, Frank Zappa had just had all of the last bits of equipment to make his studio operational installed, and he was about to go out on tour. And the band Missing Persons, which at that time was made up of people who were previously in Zappa bands, Terry Bozzio, Warren Cucurullo, and Dale Bozzio, as well as Patrick O'Hearn and Chuck Wilde, who I think auditioned for Zappa once. And the engineer that worked on that was a man who lived across the street from Frank Zappa, Ken Scott. So he went out on tour. They used the studio, made this record, and that is the truth. More guesses. Ah ha ha! We have no more calls. We have a winner, and I knew he would know this. John Cleese is the man who says "bastards" better than anybody else in the world. Oh yeah. So yes, Dale Bozio did have a spread at Hustler magazine that was based on Thingfish. I love having all my Zappa albums within arm's reach. Most of them, anyway. All right. So, all right. You know what? And hello there, Mowgli the Dayhiker. Haven't didn't get a chance to say hello to you earlier. It's 55 minutes past the hour and almost time for your local news, except on the West Coast. So I'm going to sign off soon. So I want to tell you to have a great week. I'm not completely sure whether I'll be here next week or not, but if I am, I will be. So there. Be nice to each other. Listen to music. And if you don't like the way things are going, do something about it. And send all my love to you. Have a great week. I had a great time. I hope you did too. It's time to make some ridiculous noises on the synthesizer. Turn the computer. Bend it down so you can see that this thing here, it is the Novation Base Station 2 with the Aphex Twin firmware installed on it. So, yes, everybody, you have a good week as well. Let's do something weird, shall we? Go back in the stick here. There we go. Wyoming Dave! Good to see ya!
Thank you.
Alright, folks. Thank you very much. Pleasure done of the absurd. Good evening, sir. Nice to have you here.